Welcome to Maine Real Estate Today. We are coming to you with our podcast this morning. We have a very, very important public service announcement for you. This is really serious. We're not playing around with this one today. Just quickly, we want to tell you something that could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what we want to tell you is that when you're purchasing real estate or even purchasing a vehicle or something, you may be in a position where you're going to wire funds. When you are asked to wire funds, if you get an email asking you to wire funds, never, ever, ever wire those funds based on that email request. Steve, when your folks require funds to be wired, do you send the request out by email?
Absolutely not. One of the things that if I have a title company involved and the funds are going to be wired to the title company, the very first thing I do is with my client is that you do not take wiring instructions from me. You call the source, get on the phone directly with the title company, get that information, and do not accept any emails from anyone that's saying, change it to this, our wiring instructions have changed, or if you get anything in the email or even a voicemail, pick up the phone yourself and call that same person you were speaking to with those instructions.
You would not believe how easy it is for people to hack into your email and send you a fraudulent email saying, we know, and they know who you're doing business with. Right. They know the names. They'll create fraudulent emails that look very close to the people you're doing business with. And it's so believable. And they say, you know what? If you want to close by Friday, you got to send this wire transfer out today. Here's the email. Wire it to us right now. And you wire it in without calling and confirming and talking to the person that you know. And it's gone, not traceable. And you lose all that money. I have personally seen it happen recently. It's awful. Now, your realtor will have you sign a paper saying that you're never going to send a wire transfer based on an email that you get. But they're also going to have you sign lots of other papers.
Yeah.
Right. Remember this one. Please, please, please don't send your wire transfers based on an email. Call, get directions, voice to voice, know who you're talking to. Don't risk that kind of money.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And if there's any doubt whatsoever, get a paper check.
Get a paper check.
Where it happens the most is when you're selling a home and you're concerned that you're closing today and you're trying to close in a few days on your new home and you have that money sitting in your account, but it's not going to clear because it's a paper check you deposited. Make the arrangements so that you can wait it out so that the funds do clear your account so you don't need to wire transfer.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest things because there's so much anxiety around buying a house, selling a house and everything. You think, oh my gosh, if I don't get this money wired, then I'm not going to be able to close. Listen, closings have moved dates for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
Don't let it be that you wired money to some foreign entity and not to what was needed to be done in order for your transaction.
In order to reduce the risk, I have made sure that if someone is selling a home, even if I'm not involved with that part of the transaction, that we select and use the same title company that's handling that transaction. That way that when we close on our transaction, there are no wiring back and forth. They just net it out with the same title company. No need to wire, no need to get a paper check.
And it's funny because I know the form that Cathy's talking about, and it's one of the ones, you're right, when you're listing a house, you're signing all sorts of forms. And when you're working with the buyer, you're signing all sorts of forms. And no matter who my buyer or seller is, I tap, 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 and I say, you need to look me in the eyes right now. You will not wire money to anybody who asks you unless it comes from my office.
Yeah. Yeah. And even then, if it comes by email,
don't do it.
Don't do it. So we want to make sure you know that. Keep your money in your pocket. Don't lose it. Thanks so much for joining us.